Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. It is week 10. Kyler Murray's back, but most importantly, so are your favorite dudes. Today's episode, we are going over all our favorite week 10 start, sit, sleepers, matchups, all that good stuff. More NFL fantasy talk and all that good stuff. Looks like Jordan is in the Jaguars locker room. Seth, you are around a fire, it looks like. And Phill, you are in your house. So kind of cool. Go check us out on YouTube at TFF Dudes. And all you guys who are tuning into YouTube, remember to give us the thumbs up, the like, and the subscribe button. Really helps us out, guys. So I think we're going to jump right into it, Phill. Is that what we're actually?
I think so. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Just talking about like Kyler Murray, I know they like jokingly said like the new Call of Duty is coming out, but there is a Call of Duty that is coming out. Can you guys believe the new digital version of Call of Duty? And I'm looking at it for PlayStation, I believe.
$65.
No, there's one it's like Modern Warfare 3 Vault Edition. It is $99. I repeat, $99. That to me,
you get a bunch of stuff with it.
That's still kind of a stretch. Like, weren't we buying video games for like 25 to 40 bucks when we were kids?
I think I got Madden 2000 for my Nintendo 64 for $40.
And that
was a cartridge.
For the last few years, you've been paying $60 for games like this for a while now, and you can still buy games like this for $60.
Yeah. When I was in high school, all like the Madden 2K, it was all $60.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
So basically, they're still the same price, but then they add on these other things like you get in-game stuff. You pay like $30 extra.
And you know you don't pay for a disc anymore. It's all downloadable.
It's all digital.
It should be cheaper.
And you can play it in different places, or no? Or do you have to take your thing with you everywhere?
You just have to sign into your account.
Oh.
Nice. That's cool. Well, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's not that bad. I'm the king of being frugal, and yeah, I mean, it's actually not that bad.
$100 is a lot just for some free skins and camo gear and all that stuff that you get in the game, I feel like. But hey, if you're into that, before we get into these games, though, Phill, we're going to do our sleepers of the week, or actually, and then after that, Jordan will give us the totals for for our picks last week. But we'll do sleeper. Do you have those, Jordan?
I have the sleepers. I'm ready with the sleepers.
I will.
Okay, well, give me just a second, Phill. Let me tune this up.
The Dude's Sleepers of the Week, presented by Sleeper. Shh.
All right.
Moderately creepy.
The Dude Sleepers of the Week. Sleeper is our favorite place, guys, to play fantasy football. But you can also win up to 100% playouts, play in-game contests. Dynamic payouts are live. What are dynamic payouts? It's short. Each player's projection now has a multiplier attached to it as opposed to preset multipliers based on the number of legs in a contest. With dynamic payouts also comes more stat categories to place contests on. And you know what? Sleeper also has the built-in group chat for your squads there, so you won't want to miss that, guys. Go over to Sleeper. Don't just go over there for the fantasy fun. Take your whole fantasy league over there. It's the dude's favorite place for fantasy football. And also enter promo code DUDES100. They will match you up to $100, guys. Take your fantasy league to the next level. Phill?
Next level. All righty. The dude sleepers. We have Trent has Ramondre Stevens. Jordan has Jackson Smith, and Seth has Evan Ingram. So if you want to do just for what it's worth, Jackson Smith has the forecasted points is 10.44. Evan Ingram is at 11. Oh, actually, what do we? Jordan. And then Ramondre Stevenson is at 12.82. The Evan Ingram, we are looking at 11.01. So my apologies there. Evan Ingram forecasting there at 11.01.
I think you're looking at full PPR, but
I am actually looking at full PPR. I'm looking at one of our dynasty leagues here. If you want me to jump over to a half point PPR, I can also pull that up. But that is the dude sleepers. My apologies. Did pull up full point PPR there.
All right, we'll just run through these quick, then we'll get into the matchups. We got a lot of matchups we're going over today. I have Ramondre Stevenson. I know he hasn't had a single game of 12 plus points without a touchdown. The Colts are allowing running backs to score in 6 of their 9 games, so I know we're worried about Ramondre. The season hasn't been great, but I think this is a good get right game for Ramondre Stevenson. I know he's not a super big sleeper, but a lot of the rankings I'm seeing, he's in the like mid 20s for running back rankings. So I'm hoping Zeke doesn't take a rushing touchdown from him here, but Ramondre is like kind of my deep play of the week.
And he's forecasted right now at 11.26. I apologize there. Let's go over to Jordan.
Yeah, so I got JSN as a sleeper. This is the best spot for wide receivers is the Washington defense. Washington gives up 3rd most fantasy points to wide receivers, 2nd most touchdowns to wide receivers, 2nd most receiving yards to wide receivers. JSN played 82% snaps last week. Has had 7 targets the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's a blow-up spot for JSN. The only condition would be obviously he's on the injury report, and I just saw that he popped up. I don't know if you guys have any insight onto how serious that injury is or not.
From what I've seen is I think it's just them just kind of giving him some rest. That's just what I think. But
okay.
Because last week Tyler Lockett and DK didn't practice, or were limited in all the practices, and they ended up playing. So I think they're just giving their guys some rest who've been playing a lot.
Okay, so Jason on ESPN's consensus in the 40s. I like to use the ESPN rankings for this kind of stuff, but consensus 43. If Jason doesn't play, my second sleeper is Noah Brown for the Texans. So if Jason were not play, my backup sleeper is Noah Brown in that game against the Bengals. He's had a great role too on that team, and he is consensus 56 on ESPN. So I actually think both those guys have a chance to be Jason, top 25 receiver on the week. I think Noah Brown's going to be a top 35 receiver on the week.
Yeah, so my sleeper is Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram has had consistent usage. He's always scored a decent amount of points, which is kind of nice. I think on the year, half-point PPR, he's tight end 11 on the week. But his usage in the Jaguars offense is really nice. And we do see Trevor Lawrence kind of lean on him and Christian Kirk in these tight moments where they need to get a first down. Evan Ingram's kind of always open on those 3-yard out routes or these shallow crossers. But if you kind of look at what happened to the 49ers 2 weeks ago, the 49ers are good against decent tight ends. But when it comes down to elite tight ends like TJ Hawkinson had a great game. I think he had 7 catches, maybe it was 10 for 11, I think, and had 80 yards. Didn't have the touchdown. But I think this is a decent spot for Evan Ingram. I think the Jaguars are good. They're figuring out how to move the ball, and they can run and they can pass. And I think Evan Ingram's going to have a good game because I do think he is one of the better tight ends in the NFL. And I think they're the 49ers are in trouble trying to cover all these different weapons that the Jaguars have. And I think Ingram's going to be one of the guys to benefit from it this week.
And he's due, Seth. I will say overall, and Jordan,
he is due. He's not had. Yeah, I will say he has not had more than 11 points in 1 week. So I think this is his chance to get over 11 points. Hopefully he gets, 5-6 catches, 50 to 80 yards in that touchdown. It's going to be you're going to be really happy you played him. So I think he even has flex value this week if you can do that too.
And this is the longest streak he's gone, Seth, with the amount of receptions he has without a touchdown. So the touchdown is bound to happen. I really like this sleeper a lot.
All right. And then,
all right, go ahead.
No, I just, we have a question from the Fantasy Dad. We will get to that in a bit, but Jordan, you want to get us to our pick'em total from last week?
Yeah. So we have, last week, Phill went 8-6, and let me double check. Yeah. Seth went 9-5. Actually, Trent, you and Seth both went 9-5, and I was the winner with 11-3. So now I have 4 wins. If someone wants to double check my sheet, you guys are more than welcome to do it in full transparency.
You are a teacher, so I'll let you I'll let you grade
No,
the
it's not really.
papers.
It's more about if you guys trust my integrity, that I'm not
No.
cheating. You
Yeah.
don't trust
Well,
it?
you-
I'll let you check it.
I can't do math either, though, so I'm kind of messed up. So we're gonna get into Thursday night football. Unfortunately, though, guys, we don't have Tua this week, and we don't like underthrows, but we do have underdog. Underdog is our favorite. Is one of the easiest places to play fantasy sports, guys. It's weekly fantasy. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite players, stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. Underdog keeps it super simple with easy to use website and mobile apps. Pick between 2 to 5 players, fill out your picks entry, every pick's right, and take home some cold hard cash. Use promo code DUDES and get your first deposit doubled up by $500, guys. So head over to Underdog, promo code DUDES. They'll match you up to 500 big ones. So Phill, take it away, buddy.
Taking it away here. Here we go. All right, so let's jump on in. We have Thursday night football, and these games have this is in a at least an ideal game, and is just I don't know. It's I want to say it's a typical Thursday night game, but we've actually had some decent luck. We have the 1-7 Panthers versus the 2-7 Bears. The current total right now is 39. Chicago is currently favored at home by 3.5. Jordan, you have a start in this game.
Yeah. So I have Chuba Hubbard as a start in this game. I think this is a really good spot for him. Chicago gives up over 18 fantasy points per game to the running back position. And Chicago gives up they're the 9th worst run defense according to PFF. They give up the most receiving yards to running backs. And so I think while Chuba hasn't had like a huge receiving game lately, I think he's a running back that is capable of having that big receiving game. And they give up a ton of receiving yards to running backs. Chuba's playing 63% of the snaps. He is the clear number one running back there ahead of Miles Sanders. Now, I think Sanders only played like 25% snaps last week. So Chuba's getting volume. He's getting a lot of work. I think they're going to run the ball quite a bit. And it's a really good matchup for him. So I think we get a pretty big Chuba game. I think his rushing prop's like 43.5. I really like the over on that prop. So pretty good matchup, solid volume, clear starter with a rookie quarterback who I think they are trying to limit like how much he's throwing the ball. So I like Chuba a lot this week.
The only concern I have, Jordan, is the Bears have not given up a rushing touchdown since week 4. So, like, I know they haven't played like great game. Their 6 games are Denver, Washington, Minnesota, Las Vegas, LA Chargers, and New Orleans. But I still think it's a good matchup. I'm a little maybe worried about the rushing, him finding the end zone maybe.
I will say, like, it's definitely not as good as a matchup as it was like 6 weeks ago. I think the Bears gave up a ton of points to running backs early on. But like, if we look at his volume the last few weeks, he's gotten 16 carries, 15 carries, 19 carries. Like, the volume's there in this matchup. If he can have, like, the last 2 weeks, he's had 4 catches for 9 yards, 2 catches for 26 yards. So, like, he's involved in the receiving game. All he has to do is bust a long one off, and I think he can against this defense.
Yeah.
I do think the rushing prop is entirely too low, though.
Yeah, 43.5 is the current rushing prop.
Is it
You're right,
43?
Jordan.
Yeah, I'm going to hit that tomorrow.
43.5.
Yeah.
So, is there anything like you're playing your Adam Thielens? I guess you got to play DJ Moore. It's not fun playing a guy on Thursday Night Football with a backup quarterback like this. Justin Fields, it's looking like might be ready by next week. I don't know if the Bears have had their bye week yet. Panthers side of the ball, I'd like to see some guys there, some of their pass catchers get a little bit more involved. Who's their second year guy over there that was a high draft pick last year?
Mooney?
That hasn't quite. Who?
Mooney?
Not
Is it
Mooney.
Mooney?
I'm talking about in the Panthers.
Oh,
Well, Mingo was a high draft pick this year.
Mingo, and then they had another guy last year also. I can't remember his name at the moment.
Are you thinking about Terrence Marshall?
Terrence Marshall? I'd like to see you get him more involved.
I don't actually. Yeah, he's
might not
couple
even be
years
playing.
ago,
Yeah. So
but I think he requested a trade.
did he? So is there anything else we want to talk about this? I think you can play Cole Kmet also. We can keep moving on. It's not a great Thursday
really, it
night
should be
game.
a good matchup for both teams. Really, it should be, but we'll see.
Yeah. Like
Yep.
I'm hoping DJ Moore gets involved. And actually thinking about that, let's cue it over to Fantasy Dad here real quick.
What's up, my dudes? Fantasy Football Dad here. I want to congratulate you on making the big time. You have your first internet troll. You know you made it huge when you got a troll. I have a question that I'd like each of you to answer. This Sunday, I expressed my endearment towards Tank Dell. How when I'm faced with a start-sit question, I tend to always, that it includes Tank Dell, I always tend to want to go Tank Dell over whoever it is, that I can no longer give a clear answer on it. Ethan, who do you choose over any other player?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. See, everybody's got their guy. Is there a certain guy that when you're faced with a start sit or any question that you choose that one player just totally biased over any other person? Have a good week, my dude.
All right. So his son's Jared Goff. He's Tank Dell. I think guys I've kind of been, always attached my wagon to in the past have been guys like Mark Andrews, which that's not one that's ever a hard start sit question. You know what I'm saying? DJ Moore in the past has always been the guy I find myself leaning towards. And that's why with this quarterback, it makes it really hard. Like, do I start DJ Moore or do I start Calvin Ridley? I kind of like Calvin Ridley this week. I guess the more fair question would be DJ Moore or Jahan Dotson. I like the Commanders matchup and How's playing pretty good. But I would say DJ Moore's kind of been my guy probably the last 3 years. And everyone knows how much I like Mark Andrews on this pod. But Jordan, like, who's your go-to guys? Like, I'm without me saying like Mahomes or something,
I think there's a few of them. So I think like this year, Calvin Ridley's kind of turned into one of those. As much as it's been as painful as it's been, like Calvin Ridley's been one. I think the last couple of years, George Pickens has been one this year where like I really like his talent level and like think that he can be really good. And then another Steeler, like it's crazy. Like Jaylen Warren's been a huge favorite of mine this year. Like Jaylen Warren, Pickens, Calvin Ridley. I think I have some on the reverse side too, though. Like he didn't really ask like the reverse of it, but like there's one huge one that like I'm always like anti. You're gonna, like, and we'll get to him in a little bit because it's a fun week for that. But I don't know. Like I think there's probably more out there, but like this year I feel like Warren. Like I'm always a big Warren guy. Pickens, Ridley, like those three this year. Obviously, like, yeah, there's the Mahomes thing, but that doesn't really play any starting.
I feel like quarterbacks aren't super fun to like, you know what I mean? Like that's not a fun one. What do you got, Seth?
I want to say, who's the other guy that Jordan's been on this year too? I think his picks are like 50% on this guy. So like, I'll give him that one, but it's like, what's I'm blanking on his name. It's the rookie receiver on the Ravens.
Zay Flowers. Yeah.
Zay Flowers. Yeah.
Zay
So like
Flowers a lot
the first couple times Jordan sent his picks on those ones, like they've smashed, right? But the last few weeks, the Ravens have been only freaking running the ball. So like he's not getting anything, But anyway, I think that's just another one it added. Man, I'm trying to think. Like I usually don't think I'm too biased. Maybe when it only comes to like the Seahawks, maybe. I don't know.
I was thinking you'd probably say Seahawks player. I thought you would say a Seahawks player.
Yeah, maybe I would like. I think sometimes I'm a little too positive, like on maybe the Eagles players, but I feel like when I like am positive on Eagles players, like I'm usually right. So, but maybe that will come to a fault at some point. Like I always say, like, oh man, I really think Jalen Hurts is going to get a rushing touchdown, and it's like not a good spot, and he gets one. But it's like I don't know. I think maybe I just lean too hard on like some Eagles players. Maybe that's it. But then again, their offense is good and the chances are always there. So I don't know. I don't know if I am too biased though.
I will say, Jordan, you're not going to say Ramondre.
I feel like the Ramondre thing was definitely a thing in previous years, but like I feel like I haven't really like I don't know. Ramondre really hasn't been my guy this year.
I don't know. It's been 9 weeks, and I think you've probably brought him up at least 4.5 out of the 9. Like Ramondre has
really?
been has been maybe I'm wrong, but I know Ramondre has been your guy. What about
that
Michael
half
Pittman?
week.
Can we throw Michael Pittman in there? I mean, he's the main pass catcher at the Colts. I don't know. I will choose him 9 times out of 10 if I'm on the edge for specific wide receivers that are kind of in that second tier area. Do you get what I'm saying a little bit?
Yeah. Like in the past, Jordan, I thought you were going to say Deontay Johnson. It was who I thought you were going to say for the Steelers.
I actually like these Steelers guys, and it just
Yeah.
sucks because they don't have a quarterback. Deontay was definitely a guy too, but like I love Pickens. I feel like I love Pickens to a fault. Zay Flowers is another good one. Trent, I figured out another reverse one though. Like I think the reverse one's kind of cool too. Like I know it wasn't the question, but like guys you always like go against every time. Amari Cooper's one for me that I always
absolutely. You always go against Amari.
I always go against Amari. I tend to like go against Mike Evans too quite a bit for some reason.
Najee Harris.
Oh, actually, that's a good one, Seth.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to add more Steelers, but that's a given. He sucks, So no, I feel like Amari Cooper's one though, Trent, that I'm always like anti Amari Cooper, and he's been smashing lately. So kind of throwing that in my face.
I've been anti Calvin Ridley in the past and Michael Thomas for what they've done to my fantasy teams in the past. And this year I got off the Calvin Ridley hate train, and it's kind of bit me so far. But I think Calvin Ridley has a good week this week. But no, always good
Thomas.
Right, one more.
Thomas
Jordan, aren't you?
Go ahead.
Well, aren't you pretty anti-Mixon too?
Yeah, but like those running backs just suck, so everyone should be anti-Mixon,
Okay. Even when he has a good matchup, though. Even when he has a good matchup, you're still.
Hey, I don't want to foreshadow, but you might be foreshadowing the Joe Mixon matchup this week, Phil.
Yeah.
You probably haven't even looked. Have you even looked at the matchup? Because you're foreshadowing big time here.
Okay. You want to hop over to the next one, Phil. But hey, guys,
Yeah.
if you have any questions you want to send us, you can, tag us in a video on Twitter at TFFDudes, or go to our website, www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com, and leave a visual voicemail. You can do that as well. Not a visual voicemail, just a voicemail there, and we can throw that on the show, guys. But we always appreciate, interaction with our listeners. So thank you. And give the Fantasy Dad a follow at TFFDad. This guy just does start and sit videos on Twitter, and he gets a lot of people that ask questions, and he replies to the tweets also, but the videos are always really good. So Phil, what do we got next, pal?
Yeah, do we give who we're gonna take in that game? I don't think we
did not.
So I'm gonna go. I am going to go Bears at home.
Yeah, I'm going Bears.
I think I'm gonna go Bears also.
Yeah, that's tough.
This game might really stink.
Very well could.
Or
I'm gonna go
really
Carolina.
Good.
I'm gonna go Carolina on the road.
Okay,
this might come back to bite me, but
you got a pretty good lead.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good. All right, let's move on here. This is a pretty exciting one here. We have the 6-2 Lions versus the 4-4 Chargers. Current total right now is 48.5. Detroit is currently favored by 2.5 in LA. I really wanted to go to this game. I had an opportunity to go. I am going to be celebrating my daughter's birthday, and so I am not going to make it. This one is very exciting. But we don't have any starts or sits in this game, but this one's going to be a good one.
Highest point total of the week. We run our games, from highest point total to lowest point total, with the exception of Thursday night, Monday Night Football. Those we put on the ends. But David Montgomery's back. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe that makes you happy. Maybe that makes you mad. But I think Montgomery goes back to the lead. Even if it's a lesser volume, I still think he gets the first swings at goal line carries. He had 8 goal line attempts and 6 touchdowns before getting hurt. I kind of think you can play both running backs on the Detroit side of the ball. And what do you think about the Lions, Jordan? What do you think about the Chargers too, really?
I think it's a pretty good spot for Goff. And Monterey St. Brown, Laporta. I like the passing game here for the Lions. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're just playing Eckler and Allen. Quentin Johnston's been frustrating. I just don't know if he's not ready or he's there. Like, he's involved. He's on the field. He was on the field, I think, 80% plus snaps last week. So, yeah, I mean, I like it. It's just, I don't know. I like Quentin Johnston. I think he has a talent. Maybe he's just not ready yet, I don't know. I think this game's pretty self-explanatory. Just you play your guys, right?
It could be a really good game.
I think a sleeper in this game is like Jalen Guyton, but like you're not. He played 50% snaps first week back last week without Josh Palmer. But like that's like deep, like 16-team league, and you're on decimated at receiver on bye, type of deal.
Yeah. Maybe a 3-team or a 3 wide receiver play. Maybe you can plug them in, like
If you're like have all the guys on bye, right? If you had like a Devontae Smith, Tyreek, maybe even playing Rashee Rice. I don't know. I'm just throwing guys out there that are on bye.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very possible. I'm hoping to finally see something out of Herbert. Like he's still a top 10 fantasy quarterback this year, but it just seems like he's not. I don't know if it's the new offense. Maybe it's the broken left middle finger, like that has to bug you a little bit, but just seems like he's not quite himself. Keenan Allen had some crazy catches in that Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, serious catches, man.
That was a really good catch. Take a gamble on any of those Chargers tight ends if you'd like, and maybe one of them falls in the end zone. Just looking at deep flyers here in this game, but I don't mind playing as many guys as I can in this game, if I'm being honest. I'm going to say Lions win this one on the road. I don't know if there's anything else.
Going Lions here.
I'm going Lions.
There's probably a lot of Lions fans in LA anyways.
Yeah. All right.
All righty.
Lions all across the board.
Yep. All right. Moving on here. We have the 4-4 Texans at the 5-3 Bengals. Current total right now is 48. Cincinnati is currently favored by 7. Trent has a start in this game. Seth has a sit in this game. I'm going to go Trent. You want to go with your start first?
Yeah, I have Dalton Schultz as my start of the week here. And the Bengals just get, absolutely gouged by the tight end. So I'm going with Dalton Schultz. Like I said, they're a top 10 worst defense against tight ends. I think you can fire him up and play him. I think he could very easily finish as wide receiver 1 or 2, like top 3 wide receiver play this year. I think he can put some good numbers. And I know you're probably saying like, hey, this is a pretty obvious start of the week. But Dalton Schultz is only 70% rostered on Sleeper. So they're in order for my waiver show for me to put a guy on that show, they have to be under 68% rostered. Dalton Schultz is a good piece in this game with a good matchup. And there's a good chance, 70% rostered, that he's on your waiver wire and you can plug him in and play him, even with the Kelsey, with Travis Kelsey on bye. But yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Dalton Schultz is the number 1 tight end this week.
Yeah, he's tight end 1 territory. He needs to be started every week. This kind of plays right into my sit of the week of Damon Pierce. So Pierce was hurt last week with an ankle injury. Devin Singletary did absolutely nothing last week because the Texans threw the ball. And, we all saw the 20+ point week from, I think, like 4 players on that offense. Stroud had 40. Schultz had over 20. 3 receivers had maybe over 22. So the Texans are committed to throwing the ball because they can, and they're good at it. Okay. So Pierce this might be an easy sit for me to say, but Pierce is coming off an injury. If you don't have to play Pierce, don't play him, because I don't think he's going to play that many snaps. He already hardly ever plays over 50 snaps. I think Singletary is still going to be playing quite a bit after Pierce coming off this injury. The Texans are going to throw the ball. So I think the only way I get hurt here is if Pierce gets a big catch and run this week, which I don't think he will, because I don't think he'll be playing that many snaps to begin with. So Damon Pierce is my sit of the week.
Any worries, Jordan, on like Jamar Chase? I think has some back tightness. T. Higgins is, resting with a hamstring. It looks like he's going to play. He did practice on Wednesday, but it just seems like the Bengals are a little banged up right now.
So Jamar Chase is all from that big fall he had. I don't know if you guys saw that when he went up for the ball, landed on his back. He came back in that game, but those things probably always hurt worse the day after.
Later,
not when you're in game. So I think Higgins plays. If Chase were to miss, obviously Higgins becomes like an awesome play, probably one of your top plays in DFS. And then like Tyler Boyd gets a bump. And then like Trent Irwin would be your deep sleeper. Tanner Hudson would be like a viable tight end. Like if you really needed it, maybe if you have like Kelsey on bye or Goddard hurt / on bye. But that's probably, deep leagues for Cincinnati. But I don't know. I could see Chase not playing, honestly.
Yeah.
It could be one of those real actual game. What time is this game too? Do we know what time?
That's what I was.
It's a morning game.
So you should know, right? You should have options, plenty of options. You'll know by, what was that? 11:30 Eastern time, 8:30 Pacific time. So, we'll probably know the night before anyways. Adam Schefter will give the report about Jamar Chase probably. So
yeah, the other thing I was looking for is
he has to log a practice tomorrow and Friday, so we'll see.
Do you think he does though? Like
I think he plays.
Playing though and not practicing though. I could also see that where
he
doesn't practice all week, and then so it's a true game time decision on how he warms up. So I could see that being a case,
Yeah, I could totally see him playing though for sure.
Phil, what were you saying?
Yeah, they just have no lines out for that. I think they're probably waiting on some additional information. If you take a look at Sleeper, like some of the other games.
Line?
Sorry. There's
Chase.
Yeah, there's no props. Sorry, so there's no player props for that game yet, probably because of some of that.
Well, because they can't put the Higgins prop up until
correct.
Chase,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what they're waiting on. But some of the other morning games, they already have it. So I think it's interesting. Obviously, everyone's kind of waiting around, and I don't know. I'm assuming they're probably going to have to know on Saturday. And we should know by Saturday night too, because I think they're supposed to give the league 24 hours to decide whether he's going to be playing or not.
Well, no, they can make that decision on inactives in the morning.
Are you sure? I thought they had to do the 24 hours thing.
Well, they have to give an injury report, but they can list him questionable and then decide
Game
that
time
morning
then,
whether he's going to play or not.
Okay. All righty. Well, anything else here, Jordan? You want to talk about? Oh, go ahead.
No,
Seth.
I just want to reiterate. Like I talked about Noah Brown in the sleeper section. Like he's not my official sleeper, but he's been pretty good. Like he had the blow up game last week, 6 for 153, 3 for 57 the week before, and he's playing like a ton of snaps.
Is Robert Woods back though?
I thought that was a multi-week injury. I know he's missed the last 2 weeks, but
I saw him on a rankings. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
70%. I don't know. I just assumed he was out, and honestly, like
Noah Brown looks good.
They're big time hurt. Every wide receiver's hurt on that team right now. I think they all missed practice today, so they're throwing the ball a ton though. So like to Seth's point, so I think he's viable as like you need a receiver type of deal.
Yeah. Well, since week 5, Joe Burrow is 3rd in fantasy points per game. Jamar Chase is 2nd, only to Tyreek Hill, who's in 1st. So, like, this is going to be a really exciting game. And I really hope that Jamar Chase is a go. And I hope Jamar Chase is a go, kind of like my favorite go, which is the Go Bag on Manscaped. It's like a shower survival kit, only the bag has formulations that will have you looking and feeling your best in a pinch. This travel-friendly kit includes TSA-approved sizes, so you can confidently say, where's the bathroom in any language, guys. It has a 2-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, refined scent, body wash, crop preserver, hydrating body spray, spray on hydration. It is the perfect gift for this Christmas season, guys. Head over to Manscaped, enter promo code DUDES20, 20% off your whole order. They got the new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. That thing's like a lightsaber when it comes to razors. So go over to Manscaped, check them out. Promo code DUDES20, 20% off, guys. Go check them out. And get that Go Bag while you're there too. And I'm sure some Black Friday deals are coming. So all kinds of good stuff over there at Manscaped. So thanks, guys. And anything else you guys want to touch on?
Can we not compare a lightsaber to a razor, please?
That thing is like a
lightsaber. It's like, I'd almost rather you say a hot knife through butter. Like, I'd almost rather you say that than a lightsaber. I feel like I'm just gonna get like, I feel like I'm just gonna get maimed with a lightsaber, dude.
Hey,
all right, well, dream on, buddy.
Trent,
I don't know
that stuff. I don't know. Like, we don't know what Trent likes to compare his razors to.
I thought it sounded cool.
To you, Seth, it may sound cool. That's what I'm saying. We all have
Seth,
different
Ewok, you little
different
freak.
preferences.
What do we got
Ewok,
here?
you little. We need to say who
Bobo
we're taking. I'm
Baggins.
taking Cincinnati.
Yeah, Seth's out here outside. I don't know why, by a fire. The guy's
Speaking of, I'll show you exactly why I'm outside. Here we go, boys. Let's light one up.
and
For
now
Cincinnati. He's
now he is
smoking
smoking a cigar on the pod. Yeah.
I can dig that.
Yeah, we are not condoning smoking on this pod, though. So this is our little Joe Burrow of the pod. Why don't you just do that in your house? Be a man.
Because I won't be a man when I get beat, I'll get beat and then I won't be a man anymore.
We will take your word for
Check
that.
us out on YouTube, though, if you can see this is actually real. Okay.
It's
yeah,
real.
we might get
It's real.
flagged on YouTube because
Yeah,
you're
well,
smoking,
now for
but
all
that's
our
okay.
kids,
No,
that-
you will not get flagged on YouTube. People do way crazier stuff.
Here's the thing, Seth. This is
I'll
a
take
kid
your
show.
word for it.
This
This
is
is not a
kid show.
kid's show, Trent.
It's not a kid show, Trent. I'm talking about
Right,
gambling 24/7 on a kid, not a kid show.
I'm taking Cincinnati.
I'm taking Cincy too. Burrow is on fire right now. He can't be stopped. Even though I'm really excited to watch Tank Dell, CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud's one of the funnest guys to watch.
It's gonna be a great game.
It's gonna be a good game.
We know
I'm
who
going
Seth's
Bengals,
taking.
though.
I would assume. Yep. That's that's what I thought.
Seth,
That cigar.
Seth thought he was, Joe Burrow, but he really looks like Marv from Home Alone. All right.
All right,
bandit.
moving on here. Smoky Seth. All right, moving on here. We have the 49ers at 5-3 and the Jaguars at 5-2. Jordan's all giddy and getting silly over there in Kingsburg, California. The current line is 46 in San
Say his address
Francisco
while you're at it.
is favored by 3. If I did have it in my head, I would. Jordan, I'm just going to let you take the floor here, buddy, old pal. Like, I know you're excited about this game. I know that this one's getting you going here like a lightsaber from Manscaped. So talk about this a little bit more.
Yeah, no, this is a big game for the Jaguars. Obviously, Jaguars are tied. I think, they were tied before the bye for first in the AFC. And so I know a lot of people are talking about how the Jaguars really haven't played anyone in the last few weeks. So I think it's a big spot, obviously. I think it's good the Jaguars are at home. I like the game, though. I think the passing games on both sides are pretty good. Jaguars have been pretty susceptible through the air. So, Ridley, Kirk, Ingram, I think are good. Seth mentioned Ingram earlier. I think Debo plays here. It's a good spot for Debo. And I think Etienne and CMC are in worse spots. But because of their volume, right, they're almost matchup proof, right? Obviously, CMC, we're talking about number 1, number 3 running back on the year in terms of fantasy points. So they're both matchup proof. They're awesome as usual. So I think it's a good game. The total, I'll be honest, is a little higher than I thought. So, yeah, I like this game quite a bit.
Well, and just to keep saying it, when Zay Jones plays, the fantasy or the pecking order is Calvin Ridley, Marvin Jones, and Christian Kirk. And when Jones is out, or Zay Jones, sorry, when Jones is out, it's Kurt, then Ridley. So when Zay Jones plays, Calvin Ridley has a lot better performance, and that's why I'm leaning towards playing him in my lineup this week. And do we know for sure if Zay's playing or no?
He limited in practice, so who knows?
Well,
He's been limited a lot the last few weeks. They brought him back in that London game, I think, and he got hurt. So I think they're going to bring him back real slowly because he is important to this team, long term. So I don't think they're going to rush him back. So I'm curious if he plays this week.
Remember when Phill was always talking about how good Zay Jones is, and Jordan just laughed and said he's not good, and now he's Jordan's favorite player? Just thought I should remind everyone of that.
Yeah, it's shocking.
He literally just said he's the future of the Jags. He literally just said
Not what
that.
I said.
Not
what I said.
He did.
You said he's really important to the team's future. What do you mean?
He's
Hey,
really
we got to be
important to the rest
careful.
of the season.
We have to be careful what's going to get snipped out these days. We have to. We never know what's going to be snipped and used on the internet again.
I have to be careful. Someone might say that I just said Zay Jones is the best wide receiver in the NFL, and that that Trevor Lawrence is all the help in the world. I don't know.
Hey, haters motivate, Jordan.
Yeah.
Honestly, forget that guy.
Yeah,
unless your dynasty team is losing, and then you'll start tanking.
Unless he disrespects your integrity.
Yeah, we had a little troll. We had a troll go at us on TikTok, guys, and he kind
I
of
wouldn't
slurred
know.
towards
I don't.
words.
fun.
All I do is watch box scores, guys. I don't watch any of the games. Just check all the box scores, and we're here, guys.
YOLO. All righty.
We don't
Well,
watch
this
any
one-
football for what it's worth.
Fire up
No,
Christian
not at all.
McCaffrey. I think you got to downgrade.
He's not streaming during church.
Yeah, I think you got to downgrade George Kittle a little bit with Debo if Debo's back.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, he's still
but
making
Trent,
the game.
but the box score tells me George Kittle had a huge game last week, so we got to play George Kittle because the box score said so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I knew that guy was right about you, Jordan. I'm going to say this is in Jacksonville. 49ers have lost 3 in a row. Can they lose 4 in a row? What do we think here?
Heck yes, they can. Jags, baby. Let's go.
Give it Duval
Yeah,
here.
I got
Seth, you're
Jaguars.
outside.
Duval.
I'm surprised Seth's not howling at the moon, this weirdo. Phil, who
Don't
do you
make
got?
me. I will.
I'm taking. I my heart's. I ride with you in my heart, but I think the Niners are going to win this one, Jordy.
I'm going I got Christian McCaffrey on my fantasy team. I need a good game out of him. I'm glad they got the bye week. Team's rested, rejuvenated. Purdy hopefully isn't pretty lucky, or I hope maybe he's pretty lucky. I'm going to go 49ers win this one. This is a good test for the Jags though. Like they really, they could win
I'll
this
be
game.
honest.
I feel like it's a
if the
coin flip.
Niners, if the Niners weren't playing the Jags, I'd probably agree with you guys. Niners aren't losing 3 in a row, but like I feel like the Jaguars, they kind of failed the first test at home this year against the Chiefs early on in the year. I feel like they make a statement here, like I don't know. I feel like this is what they've been waiting for. Niners at home, and they can kind of put the foot on the throat of the Niners. If they lose 4 in a row, Niners are in real trouble.
It is.
Can we just one real quick thing here? This total human interest story. Brock Purdy was driving a harvester during his week off, and apparently he was doing it for his girlfriend, fiance, something like that, right? Like I don't think his family is in the farming community, which if they are, awesome. But I think he was doing it for his girlfriend, fiance, whatever that situation is. Is it chivalry or it was chivalry, PR stunt? Or is he actually getting locked down? She didn't let him watch any football on Sunday, and he's out there harvesting. Like, what are we thinking, boys? Like, I just want to go around and give me your quick answer here, Jordan. I know you're a guy free of the shackles. Let me know what you think here.
He went to Iowa State, so how do you know he's not I don't know, like
his parents own a hot tub store.
Yeah, in Arizona.
Where?
Arizona.
Okay.
He's from
I'm
Arizona.
sure
you were just at. You should know this, Jordan. You were just
his
in
girlfriend
Arizona.
probably was from Iowa. He probably got an Iowa girl, and she's a farmer.
Yeah, and so the question I'm looking for you to be tactical and strategic here in your response.
What's your question? Sorry.
Is chivalry not dead in Brock Purdy's life? Did she crack the whip and make him harvest while football was going on, or maybe something else?
The third question is he getting paid, and are they married? Are they married or not married?
They aren't married. I'm sure he's not getting paid.
And then he's whipped.
PR stunt.
I just wanted to ask Jordan that because I knew he would give me a good answer there. Here's the thing, though. Every once in a while, it's kind of nice to just put some tunes on. Maybe listen to Country Roads and drive down. Seth does this periodically, so he could. Very true.
I do get paid,
and he
does get paid, and he is married. So, all fair points. We can move on now from this human interest story. We have the next team that we have here is the 4-5 Commanders. Versus the without Chase Young, the 4-5 Commanders and the 5-3 Seahawks. I think this actually, I don't know if this adjusted the line at all, but the 4-5 Commanders at the 5-3 Seahawks, the current total right now is 45.5. Seattle is currently favored by 6. I don't know if that changed minus Chase Young. I think that happened mid or early this week. Is that right? Or early last week or late last week when the Niners ran on by. So I don't know if that impacted the line total at all this week, but this should be a good one for the Hawks. I'm feeling good about this one. Hawks are coming off a rough one in Baltimore, looking to bounce back.
Phil, anything that happens this week could be better than last week. Let's just say that.
If something happens this week, it could. I'm okay with DK punching somebody this week just to get a. I'm not okay with that actually. I'm not okay with violence,
Phil
but I
doesn't
am looking
condone
for the team.
violence,
I'm
but
not
it
okay
would
with
be it
violence.
would boost team morale.
It would boost team morale. Like they could get
Yeah.
behind a joint enemy if we can get some on-field squabbles going on here. It always helps. So
Phil is against violence, but he's pro team morale. So we'll let you guys figure that out.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it taktes. Yeah,
Please do not.
Seahawks can't do any
mute
worse,
yourself,
right?
please. I think the Hawks. Hawks by 14. I'm calling it.
The Seahawks can't stop the run, so this should be a good spot for Brian Robinson. Also, the Seahawks secondary, I think, has been playing quite a bit better, but they haven't been tested that much just because of the last two teams have just been running the tar out of the ball, and the Seahawks can't stop it. I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game. Hopefully, it's high scoring. That way, you can play everyone you have in these games. Jordan has JSN as a sleeper. I think it's a great sleeper. I was going to use him. Jordan put him in. I think it's great. I think JSN starting to break out as like Trent was. We're saying this every week now. Trent was obviously right about his season take of JSN being kind of a downer, but then he's like after the bye, he's going to come out and do good things. And he has since the bye, partially because of injury, but partially because Seahawks have actually been using him right. I think it's possible like JSN just keeps taking off and becoming like establishing himself as the top target here. But hopefully it's a good game for all fantasy players around. I have a couple Commanders guys I'm excited to play. I don't know if Curtis Samuel is playing or did he get put on IR?
I'm not sure if he's playing yet. I like Dotson in this matchup. From what I heard today, I don't know if it's still up in the air. I don't know if he's been put on IR. But what I will say is like Geno just has to play better for JSN, for all the guys.
For sure.
In fantasy, Geno's QB 24 right now. It seems like he's kind of fallen back to what he was in the past. And maybe last year is an outlier, as much as that, probably makes you guys mad. Like it just seems like that could be the case. But Sam Howell, since week 5, leads the league with 302 yards per game passing, ahead of Patrick Mahomes, who's at 287. This is a really good spot for the Seahawks receivers too, though, like you said.
And this might be a week that you can stream Geno, Trent.
You could stream Geno.
All right, can I talk already? Can I talk about this game?
Sure.
We took his talking
Curtis
point.
Samuel.
Go ahead.
Curtis Samuel is playing. I was trying to be patient, but Phill went back to Seth to Trent there, and I got mad. So
that's fine.
Hey, this is the Geno spot. This is the best Geno spot. If I told you to play Mac Jones against the Commanders last week, and obviously Mac Jones sucks, so we don't bring that up anymore. But you better believe I'm going to tell you to play Geno in this spot. It's the best Geno spot you're going to get. The Commanders are atrocious against quarterbacks. 2 weeks ago, Jalen Hurts destroyed them. Geno is a lot more capable of a quarterback than Mac Jones. So we are going to get the Geno spot. I'm contemplating going like super heavy on Geno and DFS this week. So yeah, it's the Geno spot for sure. He's in the great spot. He has capable weapons. Tyler Lockett's great. DK's great. JSN's great. I'm gonna have a lot of those 3 receivers in DFS this week. And then I think on the Washington side, like if you think the game's close, Brian Robinson I think is pretty good. But also like if you think the game's like blowout, not a blowout, but like 14 points, double digits, and the Commanders are chasing. And I mean, Sam Howell's back there chucking. Like, I think Antonio Gibson's interesting. I'll just say that. And then, like Dotson, like McLaurin. It's Curtis Samuel being back kind of clutters up the rest. But yeah, just love the. I love the spot for Geno. It's a great spot, especially coming off just the dud he put up last week. It's a really, really, really good spot for him.
Yeah. On the other side, I agree, Jordan. He was my stream of the week on the waiver pod. He was 67% rostered, on Tuesday. I haven't checked his roster percentages now. I guess I could look, but I like Geno. Other side of the ball, Seahawks haven't had a quarterback throw for more than 250 yards since week 3. Not Skid Row by any means. The quarterbacks they've faced have been Daniel Jones, Well, Joe Burrow was tough. Josh Dobbs, PJ Walker, and Lamar Jackson.
Well, also Trent, like Sam Howell, if they get down double digits, Sam Howell's going to throw for the ball 50 times. He might throw it 50 times anyways. So it doesn't matter. Like he's matchup proof in the way because he has so much volume. He's just dropping back and chucking the football. So he has more ways he can get there. So yeah, I like I might in my 20 lineups for DFS, I seriously might go all in on Geno. Like that's how much
Let's go, baby.
I like Geno.
You heard it here
Don't count
first.
him out, Jordan.
Right back. I'm going to say Seahawks win this one. Anyone going to go Commanders?
I got
I'm on
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Phill?
Trent got a note one time in high school, and at the end it said "writ back." Interestingly enough, please writ back. Trent, do you remember that?
I do. You'll never let me forget it.
I'm going Hawks. It was I think it was a love letter actually, and the person
To
put
himself.
yeah, I mean his spelling, it wouldn't be surprised, but it was an interesting note that
That was
Trent
early.
Edsmeyer.
That was early level ghosting. Like I don't advocate for stuff like that, but that was definitely a ghost job by myself.
He didn't write back. He didn't writ
Didn't
back.
write back. I
actually.
didn't go to the park either. Yeah, I'm going with Seahawks.
We have some guys who listen to this pod who we went to who were friends with in high school, and they're just rolling right now.
Just so you know, most people have podcasts, hopefully have friends from high school that listen to it. But that's a whole nother side note. But thank you for letting everyone know that we have friends from high school.
Trent.
Everyone's just shocked Phill had a friend in high school, if I'm being completely honest.
let alone any friends still standing. And all right, we can move on. I'm going Hawks. All right, let's move on here. We have the 4-5 Colts versus the 2-7 Patriots. The current total right now is 43.5. Indianapolis is currently favored by 1.5. Crosby went on the Bussin' with the Boys show and actually said that Josh McDaniels did not, in fact, defend the Patriots' honor when he was being called out. Not that that's relevant, but just thought I'd add that in there. The game is back in Frankfurt. This is the last international game, boys. So we have an early one. With this time change, I'm sure for a lot of you, it's a little bit easier to wake up, go get a donut, get some donuts, get some coffee, and let's get this thing going. So what are we thinking here? This one's it's an interesting one.
What are you thinking, Jordan? What do you got? Mac Jones love?
No, stop. Never again. I'm going right back to JT here. I don't know how he didn't get there last week. I really don't understand it. I think he still played like 70% snaps, so I'm going right back to the JT well. Is Josh Downs in or out? Do we know? Any word on that?
It's not official yet. I think it's going to be a game time decision, and we might know earlier since it's in Germany.
So he's traveling or not traveling?
I have not heard that yet. Let me look up Josh Downs here. Just give
I'm
me
looking
a
it
quick
up
second.
here.
You got it?
Yeah.
He's questionable. No practice on Wednesday.
Today.
He's ruled out with knee injury 3 days ago.
Yeah, he didn't practice today, so that makes me think that like going to Germany.
Yeah,
may not. If he does, we might know early because I could see him not traveling.
I'm gonna be honest with you. They probably are already in Germany. To be quite honest, with you, Jordan.
What?
They're probably already.
I don't know if they are. Sometimes they'll leave on Thursday.
Remember last year, Russell Wilson was doing the jumping jacks on the plane, Phill, when you were still defending his honor?
Just depends.
Okay, go ahead, Jordan.
No, so I just Pittman's really good if Josh Downs is out. And it's a great spot for Ramondre too. So Trent kind of mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is the bounce back game where it's like, oh, that's the Ramondre. Remember? Yeah, I'm gonna say Colts win this game. Is there anything else we really need to dive in here? I don't love playing like Gardner Minshew or there's not like I think you can play Pittman. I think you play Jonathan Taylor, like Jordan said. Zach Moss, no. What do you think? Maybe if you're desperate.
I don't think so. He's not playing a lot. FYI, the Colts are flying to Germany on Thursday night. So we will know if
And
Josh
it's
Dobbs
actually
is.
not that bad of a flight. It's 9 hours. We're making this
Yeah,
a
no,
much
it's
bigger deal
not.
than it is.
It's not
Yeah.
that bad.
So,
So Trent, Zach Moss only played 21% snaps, 13 total snaps compared to 45 for Jonathan Taylor. I just don't see how you can play him. You're basically touchdown or bust there.
yeah. And I'm not willing to play like Alec Pierce or anyone if Josh Downs doesn't play. Now that I said that, he'll probably catch a touchdown pass if Downs doesn't play. I'm going to say Colts win this game. Anything else you guys have before our Patriots-Colts game? Man, Seth, it's weird seeing all the smoke behind you from that fire.
It's not from the fire. Just kidding. Yeah, it is. It's kind of dying. So
I'm
Seth,
going
I got
Colts.
Indy.
Seth's a whole different person outside. I don't know if I like it or not. What do you think, Phill?
should I just be out here every night, regardless of how cold it is.
Outside
Please.
Seth? No, I think that's
I'm gonna paint my
outside
chest
Seth.
for the next one.
All right. That
It's a
will
bold
get
move.
us
Seth, Colts.
censored.
Seth, you gotta get Colts.
Yeah, I'm going Colts here.
What we got next, Phill?
Seth, actually, please do that. For the sake of the pod, please do that.
Okay.
Saints 5-4 versus the Vikings 5-4. Can you guys believe the Vikings are 5-4? They started what? 1-3, 1-4, 0-3.
0-3, I believe is what it was.
They started 0-3. They are now with a winning record at 5-4. Justin Jefferson was cleared to start practice, to my understanding. And the current total, not that that has anything to do with this game, but current total right now is 41. New Orleans is currently favored by 2.5 in Minnesota. No starts, no sits in this game. Regardless of the Jefferson practicing, I doubt he plays. But what do we got here? What do we want to go into?
I don't like Alexander Madison. Like, it's just weird. Travis Etienne is the only running back to top 13.5 points versus the Saints this year. And Derrick Henry and Zach Moss are the only guys with double-digit scores. So it's a really bad running back spot, which we preach every single week on this pod. Fire up Olave and Kamara on the other side. Jordan, what do you have on this game? I think you can play Dobbs if you want.
No.
You don't like Dobbs?
No.
He's QB what
Really,
on
Trent?
the season? Dobbs?
Dobbs. Like, you can't play Dobbs.
He's QB 10 on the season, Jordan. I know it's a good
Against the
defense.
Saints.
I know the Saints are good, but Dobbs he's slinging it, man.
Seriously?
He has a
Why?
week in the playbook. It was like total like foreign language to him last week. Like,
You would be the guy to like buy into that. But Trent, like, how do you play Dobbs in a regular season long league? Why are you playing Dobbs?
because he's quarterback 10 on the season, Jordan.
If you have a bias too,
You're not.
bias.
That's not a reason to play Dobbs because he's quarterback 10 on the season. Like,
Why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why
I know.
not? play
Jordan, you explain yourself actually here. He put 24 up on Baltimore 2
with
weeks
having
ago.
I know it's a tough defense, but he's a mobile quarterback with a running back that's not any good.
who are you
Like,
playing Dobbs over?
let me look at my list here of quarterbacks I have.
Mac Jones.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't be playing Mac Jones either.
Let me see here how I can get to this.
You're playing
Guys,
him
I played
over-
Dobbs over.
He might be
No,
better than
there's-
Derek Carr this
No,
week.
you're playing him over either Panthers and Bears. You're probably playing him over.
Would you play him over Brock Purdy, Jordan?
No.
Derek Carr?
Why are you playing Derek Carr? Like,
Because sometimes you have to play
are-
guys
are-
like this.
are we talking about
he's
like
QB?
super-
He's QB 10, Jordan. I know that doesn't seem like a big deal to you, but that's kind of like I know it's a tough defense, but
Are you playing
I
him
just
over
don't
Dak?
understand. Like, unless you're talking about Dynasty Superflex or a 12-team Superflex in a regular 12-team or 10-team standard league, you should not be playing Josh Dobbs.
No, Jordan, so let's say you're in a 12-man league, there are 14 games. There are a handful of quarterbacks who you would 12-team league, there's 14 games. There is a chance that one of your QBs is on bye. I can almost guarantee you have to start Dobbs over a handful of quarterbacks that are in the other 13 games in the slate. You wouldn't agree to that?
I mean, I'm not playing Dobbs over Geno Smith. How about that?
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah,
are you
that's
playing
not
him
one of
over
them.
Dak?
No, Dak's red hot. He's hot like a pistol right now, Phil.
No, but Jordan, are you playing him over Dak?
Who?
No, you aren't
Dobbs.
doing that.
No, I'm not. I'm not playing Dobbs over Baker Mayfield.
Okay,
Like,
well then the other games though that you have is you have Jets Raiders, you have Jets Raiders, you have Broncos versus
you
Bills.
shouldn't be playing any of those guys. Like
But you probably have to though, given the numbers, you probably have to play Dobbs, is what I'm saying.
I think it
Because
was
all
worth
of,
being brought up at QB 10, Jordan.
fine, you can take your QB 10. I don't know
Like,
but what does
I'm
that
not playing.
mean? Like, I don't know what that means. Like,
That means he has the 10th most fantasy
I
points for a
understand what
quarterback
it
this
literally
season.
means, but like, what does it have to do with what he does going forward?
It just shows he can play. So, Guy, would you start him over Will Levis?
Okay, so here's my the counter to that, Trent, is sure he's 10, but like he was playing with Arizona, who was down every single game. He was throwing the ball a ton. Like teams were playing back like safety defense because and so he's getting a bunch of points on the ground running. Like, do you think?
Yeah. He's middle of the pack this week on PFF. He's QB 15. Guys he's ranked ahead of are Will Levis, Derek Carr, Gardner Minshew, Taylor Heineke, Jordan Love, Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young, Kenny Pickett, your best friend Mac Jones, Zach Wilson.
How about this, Trent? I bet you Will Levis outscores Josh Dobbs this week.
I love Will Levis, but yeah, I'll do that. You want to do a dollar bet? You want to throw it down?
Yeah, I'll
Something
do
we'll
a
actually
dollar bet.
do. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else want in on this action?
y'all go in there on
You
a
guys
dollar.
give me a quarterback. Give me a quarterback.
Mac Jones.
Phill, you like the Dobbs stuff. I'll take Derek Carr against Josh Dobbs.
Take Russell Wilson.
See how hard it is?
Who do you want on that list there, Jordan?
See how hard it is, Jordan?
No, I said I'll take Derek Carr.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we got
Yeah,
Carr. Okay.
I'll go Carr. I mean, I'll go that bet with you.
Okay.
All right.
We spent entirely too much time on that.
We could probably move on.
Because of
but,
Josh Dobbs, I'm taking the Vikings.
All right. Taysom Hill is another fun play in that game. Tay Dog, millionaire.
He's gonna be good again this game too.
I'm going Vikings also. Dobbs, baby. This is a Dobbs pod. Like Jordan hates, underdogs. It's pretty sad. The guy's like a scientist.
I just think Jordan likes his
he's a
bald
rocket
head.
scientist, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys got
If Dobbs outscores Carr, Jordan said he'll get the same haircut as him. You heard it here first.
Sweet.
no. I'm taking the Saints.
Okay. Yeah, I think Saints are going to win that game. I don't know why I let Seth talk me into that. Saints are pretty good.
So are you
No.
not taking the Vikings now, Trent?
I'll take Dobbs. I'll ride with my boys. All for one,
right.
one for all.
I'm not knuckling you, Trent. All right, let's move on here.
It's an air knuckle, you weirdo.
We have the 4-5 Falcons versus the 1-8 Cardinals. Current total right now is 42.5. Atlanta is currently favored in Arizona by 1. Kyler Murray is back. Arthur Smith's mustache is gone. Looks like a totally different guy. Let's jump into this one. No starts, no sits, but Kyler Murray's back. What is this going to look like?
I think
Jordan,
it helps.
what do you think? Oh, go ahead, Trent.
I think it helps Marquise Brown was the only thing I said. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes Marquise Brown and Trey McBride more viable. But like, I don't know. Like, what can I expect from Kyler? The guy wasn't very good towards the end of last year, anyways. Now he's hurt. I just don't know. Like, they held off on playing him for a couple weeks. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, but like, this Atlanta team's not very good. So, and like, they think Tyler Algier is better than the best running back prospect in years. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with this game. This game is a disaster. It's a mess. I have no idea. I think you can play nobody in this game. Like
What about James Conner? Is he playing? I know he got. I know there's
Pretty sure
possibility.
the Falcons are really good against running backs, Trent.
Yeah, they are. They are. And it's tough. It's a tough spot for his first game back. He wasn't involved in the passing game before he was hurt. I know DeMarcado's out now. I don't know, is DeMarcado back this week? There's a lot of variables there. I think Marquise Brown's okay. I think Trey McBride's okay if maybe you have Kelsey or Goddard on bye / hurt. I know Goddard's hurt. So I don't know. Drake London's back. He's fine. I don't know. It's a weird game. It's a really weird game.
Weird game. And then I don't know how mobile Kyler's going to be, just coming back. That's a problem too.
I have no idea what to expect from Kyler Murray.
I think Kyler's going to have a good game. I'm kind of excited for him.
Kyler or Josh Dobbs?
Oh, man.
This week, Dobbs. Next week, it's a different story.
I think I'd feel more comfortable playing Dobbs right now, but that's hard. Kyler's very gifted. I don't know, and it's his first game back. He's kind of rusty. It's kind of almost a similar thing, right? It's not a double points weekend yet in Call of Duty, so that helps. And I actually think Kyler's pretty hungry right now. I think he wants to prove people why he got paid all that money. So I'm excited to see how he plays. I'm questioning his mobility at the moment.
No, I think the answer is Dobbs. I just kind of want to throw it back in your face. So
that's fine. You're just
go
proving
Falcons.
my point right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say,
yeah. Whatever.
Did he not prove me right, Phill?
I'm not getting in the middle of this. You guys can call each other and apologize offline. Seth and I, Seth can smoke a cigar. I can just
either.
enjoy a conversation away from you guys. You guys can hug each other or do whatever you guys. I don't know.
I'm taking
buy each other a milkshake. I don't know.
Kyler gets a win. Kyler gets a win in his first start back.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals. It's be hard for me to not play Drake London though if he suits up. So I think.
Oh, I'm going Falcons.
Yeah, I don't know what was worse, listening to us talk about Josh Dobbs for 5 minutes or listening to Arthur Smith talk about why Bijan Robinson's not playing more for 5 minutes.
Arthur,
5-minute press conference on why Bijan Robinson. You don't need to spend 5 minutes explaining that because it doesn't make any sense. So I'm going Cardinals.
Cardinals or Falcons?
Falcons.
All righty, let's move on here. So we have the 3-5 Packers at the 5-3 Steelers. Current total right now is 38. Pittsburgh is currently favored by 3.5. Trent, you have a sit in this game.
Yeah, I have Christian Watson as my sit. And this hurts because I really like Christian Watson, a guy I have in dynasty leagues. Fun fact, though, it took 10 weeks last year for him to start, taking off, scoring touchdowns and stuff like that for the Packers. So, hey, maybe history will repeat itself. But Steelers haven't allowed an end zone target for a touchdown since week 4. 0 for 7, on those passes going for touchdowns since week 3. Steelers, Giants, and Chargers games have also failed to hit the over. So I think this is a bad matchup for wide receivers, and Jordan Love isn't playing super great. I think part of it's to do is how bad his offensive line is, and I think TJ Watt's going to have a heyday here. But yeah, this Steelers secondary is playing pretty good. They have Joey Porter Jr.'s son, and he's kind of it's junior, right? Is the son? Is he a junior? Yeah, he's playing really good. Another thing I forgot to mention, Texans have Stingley probably returning from injury in that Bengals game, and that should be a good matchup there. But yeah, I don't want to play Watson this game. I think you can go away from him here. Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, so I kind of agree with you. Also, the only thing I have to add on this game, it's an ugly game, is that it's a really good spot. It's a pretty solid spot. I wouldn't say really good, but it's a solid spot for Jalen Warren, Najee Harris. But again, they're splitting stuff. I think they're still splitting snaps. Or maybe
Seems
Najee. It's 58%, 58 to 40 last week 9, week 8. It was 52-48. So, I mean, I still think Jalen Warren's way more explosive. But yeah, it's a good spot for the Pittsburgh running game. I can't trust anything in this game. I don't know. I don't like it.
You don't trust Pickett either?
No, so I think I like Pickens and Deontay, you'd think maybe after that couple down weeks from Pickens, he kind of had the old social media tantrum he threw. So I could see him then trying to get Pickens the ball early and often. Yeah, I like Pickens, Deontay. I like the Steelers a lot more than I like the Packers in this game.
What about Kenny Pickett, though? Do you like Pickett?
Why? No.
I don't know. I'm just, there's super flex leagues. The only people who listen to us aren't redraft, Jordan. And I don't know if you know that, but a lot of just fantasy
Trent,
pods and shit.
In a 12-team super flex, and you have a quarterback on bye, literally anybody is like you can play. Like anybody's viable.
Okay. I don't know. Well, you were really high.
Hall was viable last week in a super flex league. Like
you were very high on Kenny Pickett in the offseason. I just didn't know if anything changed. Phill, you're on mute right now.
For the last 5 weeks. That's what's changed.
Okay.
Get him, Jordan.
Steelers winning this game.
I'm going Steelers,
sure.
Pittsburgh. Terrible towel time. Phill, what do we got next, big guy?
Yeah, moving on here, we have the 3-5 Titans versus the 5-3 Buccaneers. The current total right now is 38. Tampa Bay is currently favored by 1. We have a sit in this game and we have a start in this game. I need to do some double checking here because it looks like the Bucks are 3-5, not 5-3. So that was just an error that I caught there, but they are 3-5. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do Seth. Let's do your start first here.
Yeah. So my start of the week is Rashad White. As Trent likes to say, Rashid for some reason. But Rashad White's my start. I feel like he's not like the top like running backs, but like Jordan was telling us last week, like his usage is super like consistent. He's getting all the carries on the ground. He's in there for the passing downs. He's getting dump downs. He's going to get these consistent points and catches, receiving yards and rushing yards. And if he gets a touchdown, it's an added bonus. Like, I think this is a guaranteed 10 points over. Like, I think this is a guaranteed win for me. Regardless of how good the Titans run defense is, they're exploitable by the air. But I also think Baker Mayfield has to throw the ball to Rashad White, and he's going to get those dump downs. So, and I think he can get a goal line carry and get a touchdown this week. So Rashad White, start of the week. Let's go.
Let's go. The Titans are tied with the Ravens for fewest receiving touchdowns allowed since week 4. So yeah, just I'd throw that little nugget out there. But you got Mike Evans,
Jordan.
you got to play him.
And Jordan, you want to give your sit here?
Yeah, this is my this is the most on brand sit for me possible. I got Derrick Henry as a sit here. Tampa Bay, I mean literally sit him. Like when I say sit, I don't mean like, oh, you have to play him, but no, I mean like you don't play Derrick Henry this week. Tampa Bay gives up the second fewest fantasy points per game to running backs, 11.3 to be exact. They've given up 0 rushing touchdowns this year and 1 receiving touchdowns to running backs. So 1 total touchdown to running backs, and that 1 is a receiving touchdown. They are top 10 in rushing yards allowed to running backs. The only running back to have over 100 yards rushing against them is DeAndre Swift. He had that really big game. And they are a complete pass funnel. So this is a great matchup for Will Levis. If you can trust that, if you can stomach that. Last week I was bit hard. It really killed me, the Mac Jones and the great matchup, bad quarterback. But like, if you can trust Will Levis in this matchup, it's a great matchup for him and Hopkins. Tennessee's going to throw the ball. They're going to make Tennessee throw the ball. Derrick Henry is very touchdown reliant and 100-yard rushing bonus reliant, so the 15 carries for 70 yards is not going to get it done for Derrick Henry. I know he's been a little bit more involved in the pass game this year than before, but yeah, I'm gonna go with how good this Bucs run defense has been and kind of run with that. And I don't think you should play Derrick Henry this week.
Any other starts and sits we want to talk about in this game? Like maybe a deep
Hopkins
flyer.
is great this week. Obviously, you're playing him, but it's a really good spot for Levis and Hopkins. And I just don't know if you can stomach the Will Levis thing. I don't know if I can stomach it. after playing Mac Jones and DFS last week. I don't know if I can go back to the well with Will Levis this week, but we'll see.
Okay. I'm gonna go with
And is it Levis versus Dobbs? Is that what you took, Trent? Trent?
we took Dobbs versus Carr.
Okay.
No, Trent, we took Levis. Phill took Carr.
Yeah, you took Levis. I took Carr.
Wait, I thought this
So
was Dobbs versus.
No, you did Dobbs versus Levis
yeah.
with Jordan, and then I did Dobbs versus Carr.
Oh, I thought you were on my side. Well,
I am on your
never
side,
mind.
but I took a different. I'm taking Dobbs versus Jordan taking Carr. You're taking Dobbs versus Jordan taking Levis.
Okay, I got it. I wrote down Carr here, but that's fine.
Trent, basically, I'm a degenerate and took multiple bets from you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to argue. You don't have to argue about that, man. I'm gonna say
I would have loved that we come in on Sunday when I win the Derek Carr Dobbs and Trent just been gloating about it, and we would have just all been like, "Man, this guy."
It's gonna be the
still
best.
alive.
Jordan has to give
Levis
his
throws
tithe
for
to
300
Trent and
yards
Phill.
2 touchdowns. And
exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna go with Bucks win this one.
I'm gonna go
Bucks,
Bucks.
baby.
I got Tampa.
Oh, all of us are going Bucks. All right.
Jordan's
All right,
like being
moving on
part of
here.
our gang.
The 2-7 Giants versus the 5-3 Cowboys. This is fully expected to be just an absolute whooping. The current total right now is 38.5. Dallas is currently favored by 16. I think Trent added a little bit of a note there. You want to talk about that, Trent?
My little bit of note, like if Tony Pollard can't get it done now, then when? You know what I'm saying? Like, when was the last time he scored a touchdown? Like, talk about someone who's just been frustrating for fantasy owners and Cowboys fans.
Trent, I literally have this written down. Pollard spot if there ever was one.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, he hasn't looked good, but like, if he was ever gonna do well in a game, it's gonna be this game. So if he doesn't, I think you can really like if he doesn't get it done here, he'll never get it done.
Yeah, and what's his like? Since like week 1, it's just been terrible. But like his numbers are, he's running back 21 right now. Hasn't scored a touchdown since week 1. He scored 2 TDs in week 1 versus the Giants. If he scores 2 TDs here, you might want to find someone who can trade him. A lot of leagues, this is their trade deadlines this week, though. So you might be running out of opportunities to trade Tony Pollard as we speak. You might just want to, take a little gamble right now. CeeDee Lamb's looking amazing. I think he had his best game ever versus the Eagles last week. Don't know if he will be needed. Who's playing quarterback for the Giants? Is it DeVito?
Hey, Trent, I'll take Dobbs over DeVito.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
DeVito's horrible. DeVito is
horrible.
So bad. The Cowboys put best top defense on the week, I would imagine.
Yeah. Probably the best play in this game might be the Cowboys defense. But we did get a little fired up on the Cowboys Cardinals a couple weeks ago, and that did not turn out. But DeVito is not good. Can you I guess you have to play
DeVito is
Barkley.
no Josh Dobbs, Trent. DeVito is no Josh Dobbs.
You got to play Barkley. Anyone else you have to play?
No, you can't play anyone else. DeVito's horrible.
Okay. And then Cowboys side, I don't know if I really want to play anyone just because who knows, like.
No, you just play CD and Pollard. And Ferguson. Yeah. Ferguson's a stud.
Yeah, you might be able to play Dak.
No, yeah, Dak too. Like,
yeah,
they're not going to just not throw. They're going to kill this team.
Yeah, Ferguson looks really good, man. Looks really good. Ferguson and Lamb. I'm going to go Dallas wins this one. I don't know if we need to spend any more time on this game.
Nope, we certainly do not. Dallas on my side too.
Seth's nodding his head.
Yeah,
Jordan's
Dallas.
going Cowboys. All right, Phil, what do we got next?
Yeah, the next game that we have here is Browns versus Ravens. The Browns are currently 5-3, and the Ravens are 7-2. The current total right now is 37.5. Baltimore is favored by 6.
I think it's going to be like a great real life game to watch, just because it's a divisional game. But like, you're not playing anyone other than like the studs in this game. The Mark Andrews, the Lamar, the Amari Cooper. I honestly think that's it. if I'm being honest. Like, I think it's those three guys, and I don't think you play anyone else. I just don't trust the running backs here. These defenses are legit. These are like two of the best defenses in football. I think Cleveland is like, if not the best, then second best defense in football. So Baltimore is not far behind. So I'm not really playing anything here. It'll be a good game to watch, though.
Yeah, I'm in a deep super flex league. I am playing Keaton Mitchell, so fingers crossed. He can, hit a home run here in this game. I doubt it. Not super optimistic. Probably Gus Edwards. He's getting the goal line work.
But Trent, like these
I don't love anyone on the
so
Browns.
good.
Yeah,
I don't think you have to play Gus Edwards here.
Yeah, if you have Gus Edwards,
gonna-
he's probably won you a couple weeks though, and it's gonna be hard to bench that guy.
But sometimes you
this
got
is
to do
the
hard
week that
things.
Lamar took the carries himself because it's
Yeah,
the Browns.
You might be right, Seth.
I think this is the week Lamar takes the game to the ground because he has to, because the Browns defense is good.
I mean, they've basically killed teams they've killed the Cardinals and the Seahawks last 2 weeks. Gus Edwards has ran really good with touchdowns. Like, he's not just going to score 2-3 touchdowns every week. There's not going to be many points in this game. I agree with you, Seth. Like, Lamar is going to take, I think you cannot play Gus Edwards. So,
yeah.
And the Browns running back situation is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Ravens win this game.
I'm going to go Ravens too.
At Cleveland.
And I think you can play. I know Jordan hates it, but I think you can play Amari Cooper, and you just hope he catches a TD.
I agree because he's a volume guy. He's proven to be a volume guy, and volume guy will get it done in this type of environment.
Okay, Ravens all the way around.
No, I got Cleveland.
You're going Cleveland, Phill.
I am going to go. You know what, Jordan? I'm gonna ride with you. I'm going Cleveland here.
All right, next one, Phill.
Yeah, the next game that we have here is the 500 4-4 Jets versus the hot 4-5 Raiders. Current total right now is 36. New York is actually favored in Las Vegas. No starts and sits in this game. This could be an interesting one. Zach Wilson taking his Jets over to Las Vegas versus a fired up Raiders team. What do you guys think here?
Aiden O'Connell, Zach Wilson, primetime. I don't know why this wasn't flexed out a couple weeks ago. I don't know.
Jaguars-Niners game should be on prime time.
Like, why was this like? How come we aren't the talking heads? How come we aren't the ones deciding who to find players? Like, who are the guys saying,
Trent,
like,
people
hey,
at the DMV work at the NFL now. So it's the same guys who find players are the same guys not flexing these games. It's dumb. We got people who work for the government also work in this place. So it's like, what do we expect, guys? It's a no fun league for a freaking reason. It's like, now we get this game, maybe the only time I can have fun watching this game is because I'm with Raiders guys who just are finally happy they have a good team or a good team,
No,
it's
like, a coach. Raiders fans are happy they have a coach.
Or they have a team, a football team. I don't know.
This should not be a primetime game.
That's how you have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's a good primetime game. Maybe we're the idiots. I don't know.
No, I'm going to go ahead and say we're not. This is not a good primetime game, Seth. I got your back there, buddy.
Yeah. I don't know why it's this hard to figure out what game should be primetime and which game shouldn't be primetime. But it's like, I don't know. It's like these guys, they can figure out when to audit your taxes, but they can't figure out what football game should be, played on primetime. It's a terrible situation.
I can tell you why it was on primetime in the beginning because of Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah, but we have
I agree.
They can flex now. We do not need to see any more Jets primetime football. We can all agree.
I'll argue because Raiders and Jets are like two of the biggest fan bases in the country.
Yeah, that's true, but
that's why it's stayed on.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I guess just because they're New York. I don't know that many Jets fans, but yeah, you're probably right.
You went to the East Coast, you know a lot of them, Trent.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel sorry for those people. I'm going to say Jets are allowing 0.98 yards per reception since week 5 with the Ravens, who are the second lowest at 1.17. Jets defense is really good. They've allowed just 3 end zone targets, shutting down all 3. So Jacoby Myers had a good game last week, but it was because he had that end around touchdown. Obviously, you're firing up Devontae Adams, hoping that, he has a good game.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, both in pretty solid spots.
Yeah. Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Brees Hall, Josh Jacobs, and I think that's it. Guys, you want to play? All right. I'm going to go with Raiders. Anyone jumping on the Raiders with me? You guys going Jets?
I'm sorry.
I gotta
Zach
go
Wilson.
Jets.
Zach Wilson,
Jets.
Aiden O'Connell, primetime football.
Yeah, I got Jets. These Jets defense is too good for Aiden O'Connell.
Right. It's just new coach, man. All right, Monday Night Football, Phill. Bring it home.
Did you guys see he brought the practice squad players on the sideline?
I did. I saw that. That's a nice touch.
I don't know. I'm just
part of me is almost also like the point where it's like, hey, I'm a practice squad. I don't get to dress out. Can I just watch it at home? But
I thought practice squad players were always on the sideline.
In just like
they are
sweats or whatever. They're just chilling.
Yeah.
Sorry, not in away games, maybe.
At home game.
Sorry.
Wait, they traveled the away games?
No, they don't travel. So yeah, they can be on the sidelines. Maybe it was a McDaniels thing. I don't know.
And but he had him dressed out. He had him dressed out.
He dressed him out?
I'm 99%.
I think
sure.
you're making that part up.
They can't, Phill. They can't legally dress that many people out.
You're right. They have the roster. You have the roster limitations.
What is going on?
I don't know why. This is a story in the news. This guy had his practice players. It was a big deal that he had his practice players in a traveling game.
No, it was in Oakland.
Away.
All right.
It was in Vegas. Sorry, it was in Vegas.
Why was this such a big deal then? Why is this such a big deal?
I don't know, because Jordan's right. Like, we have a former guy who's been on the pod, who's on the practice squad, and he got to go to all the home games.
Always at the home games.
Well, the thing is that they were asking him, like, you guys were, and they were talking about it as if like this was a groundbreaking type idea that he had the practice players on the sideline. And he's like, they do it in college, like they're out there grinding, giving us looks. That's essentially what he said. So anyhow, just food for thought for you guys there. Be appreciative of the coach. He's coming in there trying to make some changes.
No more food for thought, man, from you.
No more food for you.
Hurry up.
Right.
Got him.
All right, Monday Night Football. Broncos 3-5, Bills 5-4, 46.5. Buffalo's currently favored by 7.5.
Worst primetime game schedule this season. I think all three of them are doozies. You're playing Josh Allen. You're playing Stephon Diggs. Denver Broncos. Kincaid. Denver Broncos are rough. James Cook. Yep. It's just getting bad over there. Like I don't think you have to.
Trent, it's a pretty decent spot for Javonte. I like Javonte in this spot. Pretty solid spot.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah. I think we're all going to say any other guys you want to talk about, any deep flyers or anything like maybe Marvin Mims.
Shakir's
good.
Play Shakir a little bit if you want to.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be close, but
hey, we all saw what the Broncos did to the Chiefs, so
it's true. Very true, Seth.
Yeah, I would say that was at home compared to on the road, but
yeah.
Josh Allen likes to call people buddy, just like you, Trent. Gave Joe Burrow the hey buddy, good job.
It's a pretty common thing, actually, believe it or not, in the English language.
I can't stand when people call me buddy.
You shouldn't tell us that, man.
Allen opened up with "Love you, buddy." The two are off from there, complimenting each other's play during the brief exchange before headed back to each respective locker rooms. That is just interesting. Interesting conversation there. I have never, and it bothers me that I've never been welcomed to this podcast with, "Hey, love you, buddy." Like that bothers me a little bit. So if any one of you want to change that around and
I'm saying Bills win this one. I don't know if we need to talk about it anymore.
Bill.
Well, I'll do my tiebreaker score first. I'm going to go 44. One of Trent next. Or Seth go next.
What's the total?
46.5.
Jordan said 47.
Mm-hmm.
I said 44. I said 44, Seth.
I'm gonna go 47.
I'm going to go 43. Actually, Bills just lost. I'm going to go 50.
I am going 49.
All right.
Undercut him. That's right.
Thank you, Phill.
Trying
You
to find
are-
that.
Nice move, buddy. That was really good. Hey, guys, we will be back. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Really helps us out. We will see you Monday, guys. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.